ask the audience in order to elicit response. I sort of, when I'm talking about this, sometimes I say, well, look, we're very accustomed to that old school thing where we send out a survey once a year and we ask 40 questions about all the things that we think we want to know about our organization, and we get it back in this amorphous bit of data, and that's what we use to make decisions going forward. Instead of asking 40 questions once a year, why not answer one question 40 times a year? Okay, so once a week on Facebook, what do you think about this? Rather than asking people 40 times, you're more likely to get much better answers, more considered answers. So not just, but I don't mean just asking people directly. I actually mean getting out there and looking at where else they're engaging. It's a little bit stalkerish, but where else are they engaging? What are they doing? What are they talking about? Particularly within this field, all right? So what are they actually saying about the production of X at the venue down the road? What are people actually doing? And more importantly, how is that venue engaging? What are they saying? And what sort of responses are they getting? So you're actually kind of, in a little circle with everybody else in the room and actually peering over their shoulder and seeing what they're doing. But importantly, how are their audiences talking and what are they saying? And can that illuminate us in any way? Listening to the industry, of course, very important as well. So listening. Embracing those. So that idea of asking questions is a little bit of the embracing. We've also seen some great examples where what we're trying to do is this idea of engagement is bring the audience into our world, right? And so the way to do that is to think about what do we need as an organization, and that can be extremely practical question. What do we need as an organization, and who can help us? So I've seen things like, we are building a massive contemporary art installation in the foyer, and it's made out of spanners. Who's got a spanner? Can you bring it into the foyer next week? And sure as fate, literally, hundreds of spanners arrived. And that sounds like an odd scenario. I don't think it was spanners. I think it was some other instrument. But actually, that's a real, genuine scenario whereby people actually said, I will contribute. I will give you something of practical help. Now, it might not be an actual physical object. It might be something like, we're thinking of taking this production to New Zealand. Where should we go in New Zealand? What are the sort of, what's happening in New Zealand in that particular area are the things that we should be mindful of. We are traveling to New Zealand. Where should we stay? What should we see? What should we do while we're there? We're actually asking for help and advice, and in some cases, real practical help. We need 20 volunteers to come down here next week and help us stuff envelopes, as we used to do. Does anybody still stuff envelopes? A couple of you? All right. We need 20 volunteers to come down here and stuff envelopes. Sorry, it seems like a strange question. I never asked that question before. And here I am in 2012 saying, do we still stuff envelopes? You do. But we need 20 volunteers to come down here next Tuesday because we've got a mail out, and you can have a cup of tea and a free ticket to the show. Who's coming? All right, so those sort of practical things that we can actually get people in. And for every one person that actually does